Spanish. Hi everyone.
Hello.
My name is Shaw.
Hi, Shaw.
I'm a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
I work for the Legal Aid Board here in Bloemfontein. I specialize in sexual offences. That means I stand in court from Monday to Friday and I defend rapists and sexual offenders. Now you're wondering, why do I do this? Exactly. First of all, I believe everyone deserves a decent criminal defense. Secondly, I believe that everyone has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty. So, why am I here tonight? I'm here tonight to share some information with you. By the way, if you have any questions, we're going to have an open table session later on. You're welcome to ask questions then. So where do we start? We start with the Constitution. South Africa has one of the most progressive constitutions in the world. We strive to be a society that protects and defends the rights of women and children. And what I'm going to say now is shocking. South Africa is the rape capital of the world. That means more women, more children are raped in South Africa than anywhere else in the world. That's what I make my business of. Now, if we look at the definition of rape, there's a new Sexual Offences Act that was passed in 2007 that changed the scene completely. The old definition of rape was very particular, very specific. The definition was, it was the unconsensual penetration of a woman's vagina by a man's penis. This has all changed. The new definition we have now has been broadened. It's gender neutral. What does that mean? That means that people of the same sex can now rape each other, man on man, woman on woman. Men can still rape women. And you're not going to believe this, women can rape men. Now you're going to wonder, how does that happen? The definition of sexual penetration has also been broadened. So now we're dealing with the orifices of the body. Okay? First of all, we have the mouth. By the way, when I started working in the Sexual Offences Court, I couldn't say vagina without blushing. Then we have the genital organs, and we have the anus. Okay? Or let me rather say, the vagina used to be mutually exclusive. It was the only thing that could be penetrated and be raped. It's not the case anymore. Now the penis has also lost some superiority. It's not the only thing that can penetrate anymore. We now have genital organs. We have any other part of the body. That means your fingers. That means your tongue. That means your breasts. Okay? And then we also have foreign objects that can also be used to rape somebody now. If we're looking at, I know this is hectic, sentences. What kind of sentences do accused persons get that rape? Well, that varies from the victim, the status of the victim, if it's a child, if it's an adult, and the personal circumstances of the perpetrator also plays a role. So if we're looking at an adult raping an adult, you're looking at a sentence of 10 years. In South Africa, we have legislation that provides for certain minimum sentences that can be imposed for certain offences. And if you're looking at children being raped, gang rapes, and mentally handicapped persons, you're looking at 25 years. my clients face every day. It's quite a serious business. What I'd like to share with you today, and I'd like you to pass this on to your friends, it's a bunch of ladies here. What kind of behavior will promote the conviction of a sexual offender? That's not my business, but I feel it's my duty to share that. First of all, once you've been violated, you feel dirty. Please don't bath. Don't urinate. Don't change your clothing. All of that destroys very valuable medical evidence that can be used against an accused person. Now, the new act that was passed in 2007 also has some very other interesting provisions that you need to know about. First of all, a victim of rape is entitled at state expense to be treated medically for free. That also includes medication that will hopefully stop the infection of HIV, but only if this is reported within 72 hours of the incident. Secondly, if the victim suspects that the accused person is HIV positive, she has the right to make an application to court that that person be compelled to go for an HIV test. That's actually quite interesting because we live in a culture of human rights. And that means that we can legally infringe upon someone's right to medical privacy. Now, if it's proven that this person is HIV positive, that could have an enormous effect on the sentence that's going to be imposed on him. If the state can prove that he knew of his HIV status at the time of the incident, that's very difficult to prove. Okay. Another one that's very interesting. In South Africa now we have a register of sexual offenders. This is very new. That comprises of a list of people who are convicted of sexual offences against children and mentally handicapped persons. It's actually a very valuable tool. We use it to protect children against sexual predators in schools, children's homes, and even in adoption situations. Your name will be put on this list if you're convicted, and in certain instances it can be removed after 7 years or after 10 years. Now, I seem quite boring at the moment, so I need to liven this up a little bit. I need to tell you about some of my clients. I've had a client, he was not convicted, and you'll understand now. His surname was Mr. Windvoer.
Sure.
I had another one, and the translator in court had to translate it for me. His surname was Mr. Mapudupunu. That means, I think, Mr. Naked or something like that. Okay. The new act also has some other offences that are worth knowing about. We used to have an offence called indecent assault that's been changed into sexual assault. That comprises of all the lewd acts not involving penetration. Then we have flashing. That's nice. All the ladies that like to lie on the beach without their bikini tops. That's actually a crime.
Wow.
But luckily, most men don't complain, so I've never ever encountered it before. Okay. Dressing in front of your window, you know.
What, I'm not allowed to do that?
Well, if the state can prove that you intentionally did that, knowing that someone was standing outside, yeah, and that you're getting sexual gratification from it,
I hear you.
then that will
I will
constitute
not
an
try to
offence.
prison anybody.
He was sleeping off there.
Yes, but not choice.
No, I wasn't.
The last issue I want to touch on is the issue of prostitution. We've got a whole new debate rising out of the ashes. They've always wanted to legalize or decriminalize prostitution. In view of the fact that we're having the 2010 soccer coming to our country, the South African Law Commission is actually drafting proposals with regard to decriminalizing prostitution. Now, why would they do that? They've had a look at Germany, where the last Soccer World Cup was held. They've seen some positive effects coming out of that. The positive effects have been that sex workers then access public health institutions. They go for HIV tests, they go for STD tests. Another positive effect would be that sex workers, they would actually report the abuse that's going on, because they are victims of a whole lot of abuse. The stigma that's attached to it, that would disappear. And in a whole, they've found that it promotes a healthier and more safe industry. I know nobody wants to hear that, nobody wants to know that. The negative effects that they found is that it actually expanded the sex industry in their country. It promoted the trafficking of women into the country. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens, what the Law Commission is going to come out with. But the message I want to leave you with tonight is, I believe it's going to fit in with the message that Napo actually gave you, is I believe that the attitudes of men in this country need to be changed. Men are not respecting women. Men feel entitled to sex from women. And I believe, personally, that women are the only ones that can change this. Mothers, girlfriends, sisters, these are the people that need to be teaching the men how to treat women. That's what I